$50 million lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, potential loss of a $100 million contract. Tune in, hear about what's going on with the allegations of sexual misconduct against Uncle Shay Shay.
Buzzing like a bee, here comes Tony Buzbee with another lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe.
Sexual abuse allegations against Shannon Sharpe. Club Shay Shay is now under fire. Big news. ESPN, Shannon Sharpe, obviously ex-NFL player, Hall of Famer, now going through what previous NFL stars and actors have dealt with allegations about sexual abuse and misconduct. This is going to be a major lawsuit. It's going to be nationally, I'm sure, publicized. Everybody's going to be talking about this. We have to know what's going on with the allegations. Ex-girlfriend, allegedly sexual misconduct and abuse. I know Shannon Sharpe is on a lot of publications these days. I've seen him on all kinds of channels. I tune in, I listen to him, as an NFL fan, a big fan of his podcast, his show, his play on the field. Obviously can never support anybody with sexual allegations, but again, innocent until proven guilty here.
Absolutely.
We've seen a lot of these allegations over the years with people saying this guy was abusive. From what we know, there was a former relationship, and now the woman is claiming all kinds of sexual abuse. And again, this is gonna hurt his persona, this is gonna hurt his business, this is gonna hurt his income.
Well, and that's what the grab is. She wants to. Jane Doe here is seeking a minimum of $50 million in damages. Minimum, right? Doesn't mean that that's her bottom number, but just so happens that the lawsuit is filed day or days before Club Shay Shay is supposed to sign a lucrative contract, upwards maybe of $100 million or more.
Yeah, she probably should have waited till after he signed the contract and then went after him. But again, we don't know the situation here.
And again, their allegations right now. He's innocent till proven guilty. It hasn't been a formal. Actually, we shouldn't say innocent till proven guilty because right now it's a civil matter.
Yeah,
he hasn't been brought forth any criminal charges at this time.
And
not that we're aware of.
And depending on the situation, there could be some hush money. There could be NDA signed, confidentiality agreements. If he wants to try to make this go away, I don't suggest he makes it go away for $50 million. But again, if he's going to save any face, potentially sign a deal like this, these are considerations that his management and his legal team has to make and consider. Now remember, attorney Tony Buzbee, this was the same guy that filed sexual allegations against Puff Daddy, the same guy that filed sexual allegations against Deshaun Watson, former is he current NFL player?
Yeah, current
NFL player. Former, now current again. So this guy is no stranger.
And
Jay-Z. This guy's no stranger to working on a big level and under the public eye. And I think this is going to get a lot of scrutiny, especially with Club Shay Shay's success as of recent.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, if he's about to sign a lucrative contract, now it's being held up because of this, then maybe the timing is impeccable. He just knew that there was a contract coming and maybe wants payday for his client. Again, we're not diminishing Jane Doe's allegations.
No,
they should be investigated. They should be looked into. But what do you do if Jane Doe's making this up? Like, what if it's all consensual and there's actually none of these allegations exist? Should there be a statute that gives a Shannon Sharpe or another individual? It doesn't have to be high-profile people. It could be just a regular John Doe. Should there be a statute that shifts then financial fees or financial expenses to that party bringing forth a malicious and frivolous action? In New Jersey, we do have a safe harbor notice. We do have a statute that allows it, but you have to spend money to go and get there. And a lot of people sometimes don't want to go through the hassle. I don't know about other states, but there are remedies in New Jersey.
Well, if I'm Shannon Sharpe's attorney here and I'm potentially losing out on a $100 million contract, you better believe I'm going to spend whatever money I can to try to clear my name and still potentially sign that contract.
So if you're about to get a $100 million contract, then you could get out of this case for $5 million. Are you paying the $5 million to get out to get the 100?
If I'm going to get the $100 million, yes, absolutely. And again, when you sign some sort of NDA confidentiality agreement, especially with civil claims like this, there's no admissions of guilt. So if there's no admissions of guilt, you're saying, listen, I'm just paying you to go away. Now, the connotation that goes with that.
What's required when you do an NDA? And when we say NDA, we mean non-disclosure agreement. What's required, in your opinion, to make it as strong as possible?
Listen, there's going to be disparagement clauses saying that you can't talk about the other person. There's going to be hush clauses essentially that are going to say you can't even bring somebody's name up. Disparagement is big, right? Especially somebody that's of a public figure. Confidentiality, you can't release videos, you can't release photos, you can't release text messages. Otherwise, you're going to be subject to further litigation down the road. And then I would have in my contracts that they are going to be subject to paying my attorney's fees plus damages if they do release these videos, no matter how they get released.
Do you suggest all parties have counsel?
Oh, always. I mean, I don't think you can negotiate a deal like this with somebody like Shannon Sharpe and somebody who's alleging this without every party being represented. I mean, if somebody doesn't choose to be represented,
it's their legal right to not have counsel if they don't want to. But
sure. I mean, listen, I don't mind negotiating with non-attorneys that are pro se litigants, but I much rather have an attorney to deal with because I know that everybody's understanding of what's going on. You had an attorney, you have no excuse, you understand the terms of the contract, you signed it, you breached the contract, now we're going to file a lawsuit in the future against whatever your breach is. So definitely going to be big news. Hope it all works out for all parties here. And, I want to see Shannon Sharpe on TV again. But this might be the end of his career on TV.
I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, only time will tell.
Well, you know what? The crazy thing is contracts, these big corporations who own these broadcasting networks, once there's some sort of allegation, they kind of just cancel you. I mean, we've all heard of cancel culture, but if you're not the most pure human being on the planet, you
Which
get
they
tossed
don't
into the
exist.
wind. No, they don't exist.
Yeah. So, I always tell people before you start saying stuff out there, make sure that you don't live in a glass house, because today it's Shannon Sharpe, yesterday it was Diddy. It could be happen to anybody. It doesn't have to be high profile. This happens all day. I do a lot of cases where I'm representing people with allegations against them, and you'd be surprised sometimes of what's being alleged and how it's so blasphemous.
Well, you also got to know what your rights are legally, confidentiality rights. Like, can somebody show text messages between us? And the answer to that is typically yes. I mean, when you have discovery in a lawsuit, text messages get shown, emails get shown, videos get shown, photos get shown. We've seen our fair share of explicit content where it's like, wow, why is this involved in this lawsuit? Things that aren't even of the nature, of this allegation, these kind of allegations, and we still see explicit content. So it's like, I mean, not too long ago, I had a case where people are sending me pictures and I'm like, I don't need this. This has no bearing on the case, right? So,
100%.
You have to be able to sift through that information, maybe have some sort of protective orders, have things sealed so that the public can't see certain things. So there's definitely procedures in state law that will protect your client. But, if I'm Shannon Sharpe, I'm trying to get out of this as quick as possible. And if I'm representing Jane Doe, I'm trying to shoot for the moon here. For all my Jane Does and John Does out there, if you ever find yourself in a situation like this where you're being abused, sexually abused, anything of that nature, you got to find your local attorney. San Venera and Citadino can represent you in these kind of matters. Come to us, you talk to us, you disclose things in confidence. We figure out a game plan and a strategy of how to help you moving forwards to either negotiate or move forward to the lawsuit and to make sure that you're protected in these kind of situations. So again, anybody that's ever been abused, we're here to protect you, full confidentiality with our law firm between our staff and our attorneys. Feel free to call us, email us, set up an appointment, let us know what's going on, and let's figure out a strategy to protect you moving forwards so that you're taken care of.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you're a football fan, I want to hear from you. What team did Shannon Sharpe play for? I want to hear if you know your history. Like, comment, subscribe below, and we're going to see what you say.